Hello.
I'm in charge. The two people that are in charge, they both come. Oh, God.
Hello, do we have someone on the line?
Grub is on the line, Dave.
Hey, Grub, how are you?
Yeah, we're getting through the summer.
I mean, I'm sure he'll show up, but maybe late.
If he's still on the golf course, he'll probably be done.
Yeah.
See if BJ dials in here. Tim, I think. All right.
Oh. Good.
All right. So we will call the August meeting of the Board of Finance to order at 7 p.m. First order of business is we're missing a couple of full-time members, so...
BJ and
Andy.
yeah, so
is there a motion?
I'll make a motion for Matt to vote for Andy.
Sure.
second.
Great.
And that's it, right?
That's it? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, financial reports.
So, it's been a busy month. We've got 2 years over and we've been running around and really busy. But there's not a lot of activity really with property taxes. As you can see, 50% collected at the end of July. We received a cost sharing reimbursement at the end of the year from $11,038 from Kerma. They just cost sharing. They do well, so they give money back to the town. Park and Rec, the summer program revenue, obviously is well over what was budgeted, having to do with more programs that have been offered this summer, and the online, everyone loves the online sign-up, so that's been going well.
Good.
And interest income is up just due to an uptick in the rates. Expenditures, Ed plowed through his tree removal budget. I know there's 3,000 or 4,000 more to come on that, so I don't know. I think there's a lot of trees that have had to come down. Seasonal wages are for Park and Rec, obviously due to all the summer program, 45% use. Admin wages for emergency management director, 60% has been used to date. And as I said before, parking enforcement and rangers budget is almost 23,000. Really, that's only the first 2 weeks, first 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of July. So that doesn't include the whole week, paid in August. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll all even out as we finish out the summer.
So for the admin wages, that we've already used 60% of the budget.
Yeah, that's for emergency management director. We gave him more money this year for admin. And
Does he know that he's at 60%?
I don't know, Tim? I don't know. I would think so. All departments get, a month of monthly updates. This is just for someone preparing grant reports and stuff for him.
I mean, the concern is we're 1 month into the experiment.
Yeah. But was that a certain amount of money to do a certain amount of assignments, or is it a certain amount of money for the year? I thought it was to catch him up.
Someone to do it. No, you're thinking of the fire marshal.
Yeah, okay.
But this is for admin for the whole year to help him with
submitting those.
And
FEMA.
It sounds like somebody needs
honestly, I don't
to
know.
remind him.
I think, I'm not.
No.
Yeah, because you gave it to him, but we don't know whether he read it, so.
Right.
Just alert him.
Whether he's on the list or not, I don't think that's a concern.
No, I think I agree with Nicole.
That Tim would have to deal with that.
What was that? Is that in wages?
Definitely, yeah.
Right, so we're talking about a total budget of $6,200.
Right.
Okay.
And then the big one down at the bottom is in the recycling, sanitation recycling. We did a big order for cans, $32,000. And we had saved up $33,000 in there, so we're kind of low. But also sale of cans and stuff. Recycling garbage cans go in there, and we usually fund it a little bit as well. So hopefully this will last us, I don't know how long. How long does it?
Yeah.
For a year.
Yeah, but the price you said really went up.
Yeah, it did.
So usually it's like a $15,000 order annually, maybe.
I know, but this time we doubled the order because we did a certain amount before they would order.
Minimum.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question on the garbage cans, but not about the finance part of it. What do we do with those waste buckets that we don't want any longer?
Public Works and they'll take them.
They just take it?
They'll take them.
Okay.
Those blue.
The blue garbage cans. Yeah. We have an extra one through.
And if they call and say they're broken.
No, it's not broken. I just don't want it kicking around anymore. We don't need it.
Oh.
It's the one with a lid and a wheel.
Yeah, it's a small one.
35 or something.
Yeah. So I contact Public Works.
Could she bring
Okay.
it to Public Works? Could she bring a unused 35 back to Public Works?
Actually, this is Grub. Hey, Jude.
Yeah, Grub.
You
Yeah,
can
you
send
want
it
it?
down to me. I could use more.
Okay, I'll bring it. Okay, I'll bring it down. Thank you.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
No, it's garbage, not recycling.
The blue one.
It's the
Either
blue
way.
one.
5 gallons.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Grub.
See you, Jude.
All right. Any other questions at all? Yeah.
This is a silly income question. How do we receive, or have we received any money for the deposit on nip bottles that the liquor store charges?
I reported on that.
I'm sorry, I must have missed it.
$3,000,
Okay.
which translates to 58,000 nips
Oh, God.
in a 6-month period ending March 31st.
Okay, thank you. And it just goes into the general fund, or
No,
for
it's
the party
dedicated-
fund?
Dedicated to recycling.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And I think I forwarded a lot of that to Cheryl Poirier because it might.
Yep.
So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
I had my
Any
guy,
questions? Yeah.
I had my guy clean Halls Road, by the way, today. So there's no more nips on Halls Road. I mean, not Halls Road, Huntley.
Where?
Huntley.
Huntley?
Yeah.
Why'd you take them back for a refund?
Huh? No. Looking like,
Yeah.
The junior women cleaned up down on Shore Road from
Oh.
like Cherry Stones just to
Yeah,
Old Shore Road.
Yeah.
And I mean, we picked up hundreds.
I know.
I'm sure.
The little nips?
Yeah.
Fireball. Some of them
Huntley
are
runs-
like fireball.
Huntley runs the gamut.
I didn't mean to get off topic here, but I was
All
just
right.
curious about the money.
Cool. Old business. On to new business, star of the show.
Yeah, start up with those bills that.
Yeah, sure.
sitting on his desk from Phil, and he brought me a couple of invoices that were dated back to September of 21. They had to do with the Old Line Fire Department keyless entry system, which only has $5 left in it, so I think that's why we'll never turn them in. And so we have nowhere else to take it out of, and so I'm looking for an approval of $6,007 to come out of the building improvement, town building improvement.
It's already done, we gotta pay the bill, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
$6,000, you said?
$6,007.
$7 from the town building improvement fund
Right.
to pay for the entry.
Yes.
Yeah, make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Say nay. Motion carries.
So we'll start with carryovers.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want to go?
Well, I just want to mention that, in as much as we're having some issues with the police department, we basically have 3 active police, and we have 3 on various leaves and so forth. So we inquired about a TDY, which then the state said they cannot assist us with that at this time. So I believe Matt Ford was saying that there's going to be an effort to look for maybe a post-certified person to fill in, and then possibly send a candidate or 2 to school, some younger. There are a couple of people in town that might be worthy of that. So more on that, but at least, we got to do something about this deficit. So I thought the TDY would be an instant fix, but we've used it years ago. We had a TDY for the entire summer just to augment, but I guess they're strapped for personnel as well.
The 3 on leave, are they on paid leave? Are they?
One's on medical, one's on paid.
All 3 are on paid leave, but one is on 70%.
Like short-term disability, yeah.
Yep. And we're going to be submitting the human resource job description with an advertisement to the CCM website. I think that was the website that got us Eric Knapp, our new land use fellow. So we're going to submit something for that, get it out there.
And that's great.
And, you already know, probably some of you met Tom Meyer, who's the facilities IT person. He's soaked in now. He took some vacation just after he started, but get it out of the system. Eric Knapp will start the 29th of the month of land use.
Get a stack.
Welcome aboard.
All right. Anything else new besides carryovers? Okay, great.
All right, so one side is carryovers and on the other is budget transfer, and then we'll start with carryovers. So the top part of that section has been carryovers that are requested to be carried over again. Again, we do them annually every year. So those are the items at the top there. And then the bottom section are carryovers from 21-22. Not leading in capital. I can go through them all. You can ask questions. Most of them are pretty straightforward. I mean, there's a lot of projects that are ongoing: Grassy Hill, Lower Mill Pond, Ferry Road, sidewalks, and that's the big amount. So even though the total is 1.3, there's a lot of big amounts that really comprise that.
One that I asked about is the Coos Stumping Ground. there have been some discussions with Kevin Coos, who's the son of the owner who's deceased, but nothing really is gelling. So I see there's small money here. I'm not sure why it would be any expense, but if we don't have anything moving along really, do we want to leave that in there as a precaution, or do we want to come back when we have something?
Well, there's two, actually. There's one at the bottom there.
Yeah. We've talked to them, and they have turned it, it's the Coos legacy, so they sort of have visions of sugar plums in terms of what the property is worth. And of course, we know in the background, the whole DEP situation with the stumps is, they've been wonderfully quiet as an agency. They haven't rattled any swords, but and as the years go by, the stumps decay more and more, so hopefully it won't be a big deal, but it's something that I wonder whether we want to just start over again when something happens, or leave these items alone.
I mean, to the extent it happens this budget year, and if we've got 33,000 set aside right now, we would have to go, it would probably be substantial enough that we would probably have to go to a town meeting.
Okay, maybe purchase, sure.
So maybe we keep provision now so that we don't have too many things needing to go to.
Can we merge these into one line, or no? No.
They're different years, right? Are they different years?
Years, they go in different accounts.
Okay.
Okay. For carryovers, has everyone had a chance to take a look?
The other big one I just wanted to note is line 205 or 918. We still haven't made the deposit, town's contribution to the incentive plan from last year, and that's budgeted. I think it's going to be even more than this 90,000. So we're kind of a little bit behind. That was usually the case of our advisors. Every time they think they tell us they're all set, they come back with one spot. Really, but that's a big one, and that's just timing.
Okay.
Yep. Carrot.
Cockatoo.
Rob, set your bird up.
Grub, can you put the bird on mute?
Oh, dear.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion for the 1.367673 million.
So moved.
Second? Great. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. Okay. Now, transfers, do we have to vote on transfers, Nicole?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so thinking that this whole thing would get approved as you've done, I then looked at all the departments and looked at what was over and needed more funding. And there's two different types of funding this year. One is the second column that says Board of Finance, it's small amount, under 20,000. So the Board of Finance tonight can approve moving the 26,200 in total from these various accounts. And I've tried to keep in the same department. So like if something was in general government, I tried to move, I didn't want to cross departments kind of thing. And then there's situations which say town meeting, and here's why they're in town meeting. One is it's over the 20,000, and I think that should go to town meeting because the Board of Finance kind of has a limit on that with a lot of things, and although it's not specific to budget transfers, I would recommend doing it because we have to go anyways. There's some departments here that had already gotten an additional appropriation throughout the year, and you can give additional appropriation twice. those line items. And the specific one I'll just share is the historic district legal. Tim had asked you for an additional appropriation for them for the year, and that include like a couple grand, and even though they need only $2,100, we can't do it by statute, so those would have to go to town meeting. What else? I had a lot of them. I mean, I kind of put the description there, so I think they were pretty upfront of why some of the other departments.
Yeah, I think we've talked about.
Talked about it. Probably the only one we haven't talked about is the transfer station. I did think that was going to go over, but not certainly 30,000. But at the end of June, we got 2 big invoices for wood chipping, and now we have to pay for them to haul out the wood chipping. So that's a new expense, which was a lot. So that's what through the 30,000.
I'm confused, Nicole. If I look at the top section under town meeting in the bottom,
Okay.
it says 59,100, Selectman's Office legal.
Right.
Are these numbers just coincidental with
No,
just
that's where it's coming
different
from.
accounts?
That's
Oh,
where
okay.
it's coming from.
Got it.
Person use.
Okay.
And although all the money we have enough in our budget so we don't have to go into surplus,
Mm-hmm.
there's still big amounts and they still have to go.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
Thank you.
good news, though, that we're not going for surplus, we're just moving
Got it.
money around.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's reasonably ministerial, so
Right,
there's
and all
no.
reasons that we talked about throughout the year.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Okay.
I don't know if anything is really.
Nicole, the Townwoods Park Facilities Supply, what's that actually?
That's when, who does it, Dan Jones ordered in the fall, almost 2 years worth of seed and turtles.
Oh, I remember that. Yes.
Such a demand.
Yes.
And it's almost the whole amount, it's like 20 grand of that.
Okay.
The rest is a lot of,
Landscape kind of stuff.
yeah.
Got it.
So tonight, we can approve the 26,200?
Yep, so you approve those transfers, and I think you also have to approve to go to town meeting on 112 on the first column, and then someone has to schedule a town meeting, because that has to be approved before I can close out my audit, my year.
So what else do we have for town meeting? Do we have any other
Well, the
items?
only thing that might be queuing up is that Tiva's family writing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not aware of anything else.
Will that happen anytime soon?
Well, we meet on the 6th of September, so we could slate something in September after that. I mean, if you guys, it's a little back-asswards, but, if
Yeah.
you guys approve this, we can then recommend it to the town meeting, kind of different strategy.
Yeah, so we just got
Well,
to,
and although my auditors are coming at the end of September, and I'm writing my report after today,
yeah,
I can still go on this, thinking
Yeah.
with the assumption, and I can't imagine it's
Do you want it to happen sooner than September?
No, I don't want to rush anybody and just do it in the town meeting for this, but by the end of October, I need it approved, so.
so maybe something else will
Okay.
come up in September.
I could ask Open Space where they stand with that thing.
Yeah,
They just sent out an update last week. Got an update on that.
for the purchase.
property.
Comment on it, but they sent us a updated report last week.
Okay.
So will you guys talk about it September 6th, and then we'll go from there? Okay, so 2 motions, right? So I'll entertain a motion to approve the transfers as recommended of the 26,200.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Great. Further discussion, questions?
Would that be both up and down, Nicole?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Ins and outs.
Move to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Okay, so motion carries there. And then I'll entertain a motion to,
Probably to recommend a town meeting?
well, we always go through this, but, so the Board of Finance recommends the amount of $112,500 and also recommends to go to town meeting. So it's two things, Michelle, that we're recommending. So I'll entertain a motion to recommend to the Board of Selectmen the approval of the transfer of $112,500 as laid out.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion, et cetera? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Great. And now we'll recommend to the Board of Selectmen to send to a town meeting the approval of the $112,500 transfer.
So moved.
Second.
Further discussion, questions? Move to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Great. Cool.
Thank you.
All right. Any other new business? Tim, Nicole, Martha? Okay. Approval of minutes. So everyone should have in their packet 2 meetings, one special meeting and one regular meeting. I'll give a couple of minutes just to take a look. Raise your hand when completed.
So I just have one thing at the very beginning when we were doing all of the, like, assigning people to vote. I wonder if the motion to have Catherine vote in place of VJ should be moved ahead of Catherine and I making the motion to seat Jude as chair, because Catherine shouldn't have been voting until she was seated.
I agree with that.
This one.
Yeah, it's the motion was made by Ms. Thompson, seconded by Ms. Reed, should be first. And then the rest of them are fine, I think.
Okay, so these are the July 19th minutes?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I'll entertain a motion to approve the July 19th, 2022 minutes.
Moved.
I'll second.
Great. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Those approved. All right, August 3rd.
I have one change on that. I was actually on the phone for that one. That's me.
Yeah. We all good reviewing?
Mm-hmm. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of August 3rd as presented.
Great.
I have one change on that
Do you?
potentially. That
Go ahead.
I was present.
Oh, yeah, with the one change that Matt Olson was on the phone in attendance.
Any other changes or? Great. Move to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Excellent. Selectmen's report.
Okay, the ARPA money, as we all know, it's been approved by everyone. So we have 33 economic recovery grants and 31 community initiative grants and 3 others that are for social services, the underwriter and administrative. So we just got word that a portion of the second installment was received, and the rest of it should be hopefully by around September 1st. I think we all want to try to get the 33 economic recovery grants going, which are 10,000 and less, and perhaps, some of those people would be very pleased to receive them, and being that it's a small amount, we can knock those out. The process is going to be a lot simpler, I guess, just probably a receipt for the check, but no reporting requirements. You just, here's the money, and then you've been underwritten, that's fine. And then when the other ones can be dispersed once the second installment comes in. And there'll be separate documentation for that. Some of those will require ongoing follow-up as they spend money. Depending on the size, they may have to do a bidding process and so forth and so on. Next is the 36-1 button ball. We have formed a 6-member committee comprised of 2 people from inland wetlands, open space, and harbor. They had a meeting, just received an appraisal wetlands flagging map from the surveyor, so that's good progress. And there's going to be a meeting with Phil Neaton to talk about signage, which said no trespassing up at the top of the street, and maybe put that more along the property instead of making it look like the whole road is blocked off. And then there'll be the real meat and potatoes is what do we do? And I think ultimately there has to be some opinion as to the marsh, whether it can be serve as access to the water. We know that the Horseneck Creek is very tidal and it's pretty muddy at mid-tide and below, and maybe you could put something in the water half-tide and up. But whether people want to think about if the marsh is strong enough to support traffic and a dock and so forth, that's going to be an expensive proposition and lots of red tape, and where's that money coming from? So, but at the very least, the property could serve as a destination to sit and look at the view and so forth. But we got to be careful because I don't think Public Works has it on its plan to go down there and pick up stuff. It's kind of pack it in, pack it out. And, if you improve it too much, it'll look like the shoulder of 156 near the bridge of the Black Hall River. So that we're going through a process and everybody's working together. That's nice. Tanamaig Landing, we heard a report from Attorney Collins who said that the research looks like the Old Town Road, Tanamaig Road, came from the 156 area and on down to the landing as we know it. That being the case, if it's a town road, whether or not we own the property, there'd be a right-of-way if we don't, or there'd be a parcel if we do. A parcel has not specifically been identified at this point to say, aha, we own the parcel. There is that survey that shows a 50-foot road, but that could be related to this right-of-way type thing. So I think Jack has been on vacation, but I think what we'd like to do would be to go down there and clean out the landing where the Phragmites have come in and make it a little more hospitable. I mean, it's not ideal. It's not a wonderful sandy place to launch a boat, but people can launch a boat, so that's been requested. And I think the town has been doing that for over 30 years anyway, cleaning up the end of the landing. So that might stimulate some conversation on the abutter standpoint, but, I think we're pretty firm in saying that if we don't own the parcel, we certainly have the road, and so we're going to do what we think we can do. So hopefully we can get that done this month. Soundview sidewalk, the committee voted last night, I think it was, and the final payment to the contractor, application number 5, was authorized. So that would leave basically retainage for some loose ends. And there's not much to be done because grass was planted around the bus shelter and didn't do well during the drought. That would be something that would have to be retained. You know, they'll have to try in the fall. Hope they'll get some rain. And it might be a couple of other things, but it would be something like, I think, $18,000 in retainage that we would hold. I think it's for a year anyway. But because there are different portions of 3 applications that were not performed, all of them were held up, and so the contractor was singing high C, looking for some money. So we gave him a lump, and now the next lump will be down to the retainage. So that's coming along. Halls Road will be, some of us have received the Halls Road Village District Overlay Zone language. You might have seen it. I think the selectmen got a copy, so we're looking through that. The committee will be presenting that to the Zoning Commission, and I think October is when zoning would likely approve or not approve that zone. As you know, the overlay is on top of the existing zoning, so if an owner did not wish to move to that new zone, they could stay where they are, or if they said, yeah, that looks good to me, they would move to the new zone and have to comply with the new zone. And some of it says that if you do stuff, it has to be near Route 1, and, you know, there are various criteria. So if you're interested, get a copy and look at it, but I think it gives people who don't want to do anything for the time being the flexibility of not being burdened with the requirements of the new zone. They are also moving to submit a lot SIP grant, but that's going to be probably a 2 or 3 year process. But it'll go through the Council of Governments. Various towns are at the trough at different times, so hopefully we can get ours scheduled, and that'll come true 2 or 3 years from now.
Going back to the zoning overlay, what would be the incentive for someone to agree to that? Like, why would, if I were an owner, if I have the flexibility to do nothing, why would I agree to that?
I guess take the other side of the street, the Hideaway side. If that goes for cheap money, and the big deal would be to maybe demolish it and redo something, they could utilize that, and they could put residential above commercial, but they'd have to be near the street, and so that would be up to the developers. I personally believe that Oline Stores, to build new stuff along Route 1, move the tenants over, populate 1 or 2 levels of residential, and tear down the stuff in the back, that's going to be a lot of money to amortize on rent for what the new stuff is.
They would have to deal with existing compliance, whatever, regarding septic and water. Correct. And all those things too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Water, septic, you know, and now you start talking residential with washing machines and all that stuff. Yep. It's a different deal than, you know, a toilet in the back for the staff, right, or a restaurant.
But the concept of the overlay does provide either you can abide by the current zoning regs, as you always have, or you can choose the overlay that provides some additional flexibility for mixed use, for example, and that setback if you want to be closer to the road. And there are some height restrictions that if you're beyond 60 feet or whatever it is, you can go up a little bit higher, and so it may be desirable for if it fits somebody's plan. So,
but I think the mixed use also would not want to have a lawyer's office or necessarily or something that doesn't welcome the public. I mean, the lawyer's office sort of does, but, you know, they would want to have more retail kind of stuff. And the residential. So, we'll see. The sewers, there'll be on the 27th of August, a presentation by the three beaches in the town of Old Lyme to interested people about the sewer project in the beach area. We're hoping that both Senator Murphy and Blumenthal will be able to uncover about $11 million in Washington to assist this effort, because I think we know that the two bids that we had before were very, very high and had to be rejected. You had three private beaches in the town. If the numbers were really very high, say it would cost a house, a property owner, $40,000 or $50,000, just to pick a number, and they were figuring on 20 or 25. The beach residents might say, nope. So even though there's a consent order, likely if the project is just economically unviable at this time, the DEP would say, well, we have a consent order, you're in violation of that, we're going to attack you. You know, I think they'd have to relent. But the hope is if between the clean water money that exists and this additional funding, it would get it down. Now, see, the beaches have an additional issue. They have stormwater drainage, which they want to do, and once they tear up the roads, they got to redo the roads. So it's the sewer cost, the drainage, and the repaving. For Sound View, we have the sewer, but not much in the way of drainage, you know. Our drainage.
It's just putting the pipe in. It's not
basically
all the catch basins and all that stuff.
Well, we have, on the top end of the street, they're basically sumps. So you see a catch basin, but there's not pipes leaving it. It just collects water, and when it overflows, it overflows. Down pretty much south of the community center, they are catch basins go down there, and they make a right, go west to Swan Brook. So that stuff's already there, so we don't really have a lot of drainage. Miami is contemplating lots of drainage, and they have a lot of roads, and our roads are probably in better shape. And when we had Connecticut Water, we encouraged them to give us money, which they did, in lieu of paving. So there's some trenches that they didn't repave the street. So we have a little bit of help with that. But we need all four entities to be involved, because if one left, then the rest would have to shoulder the burden of the infrastructure, which is what we're talking about. It needs help. So we'll see if we can get some money out of them, and if not, I don't know, it's going to be tough. So we're in a holding pattern. But this meeting on Saturday over at the school should be an opportunity for residents to hear a bit more, and I think there are a number of them that are probably dead set against the whole thing, but given the consent order, you're sort of in a bind. And if we go out to bid again, we're hoping that it won't yet get more expensive. So we're shovel ready. Ferry Road, talking with the engineer, he's recommending that actual work happen in the spring at this point. He thinks that trying to go out now, in the fall and maybe do it in October would not be the best with all the things that have to be done. So we want to either do it after Labor Day or do it before Memorial Day. And if we could, we're about ready to put a bow on it, but we still have a couple things to do, but not much. Most of the engineering's done. And so if we could advertise, say, in February and get some bids and knock it out, maybe somebody wants a job early in the season, and it's not a big job in the scheme of things for a contractor. And last, Swan, we have the ARPA commitment, which is very nice to do that job. So that being the case, the budget also has $55,000. It's kind of a redundant thing in case we didn't get ARPA, we needed backup for that. So if we could get that underway after September 15th, we can knock that out and get that dreadful crib fixed. And that's a quick summary. Anything else?
No. Just being on the contract for the ARPA, there's people have to sign off to, they have to attest to certain things. So, Kim and Matt have copies, Nicole's got a copy of the rough draft that I worked up, and then if there's no comments that we're going to send it off to the attorney, just to make sure that they like it.
Great. We also sold the police ATV that ne marche pas.
For $500.
$500? All right.
Somebody's gonna scrap it. Scrap it for $500.
Give it to our buddy, the lawnmower guy down there. All right. Just in time.
I seem to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're much shorter without you here for some reason.
No, I thought it was David.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
BJ.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we win.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sounds like a good excuse to me.
I would have been better off here.
How long was the round?
We tee off at 5.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
So one of us should sign up for an athletic event or a class or something for the fall now. Keep the meeting short. Okay. I think I'm going to go home. Mine showed up on, so how do I do this?
Saturday?
I thought of it today. Are you getting it?
Saturday.
Yes,
Okay.
but
I'm looking at all that today. Yep.
you gotta remember that I can get on,
I guess so.
get you clued in.
Okay.
Now, what I did in